How's it going, y'all? Welcome to today's episode. So I've been getting an itch, a really bad itch, to do some work on the cars. As you can see, Yesti is behind me, but we're not going to work on that one today. We're going to work on a other car that I have. Welcome back to the channel, and without further ado, let's get this intro started. Yes, sir. That a lot of you guys, if you guys are new to the channel or have just recently subscribed, have not really seen. I think I've done one video already on it, but that is my 1987 Toyota Supra Turbo. What I really wanted to focus on today is this. So you guys can definitely see on camera that this right here, this fender, was pushed in somehow, and thankfully it is metal, so we can do a little bit of body work to get that straight again. Thankfully I have this panel, so I have a reference point on what it should look like and how aggressive it needs to be. Which the thing I like about the Mark 3s instead of the Mark 4s is that the Mark 3s are more aggressive, but they still have that roundish shape, so it's not super boxy, but it's not super bubbly either. So it's a really good best of both worlds. But I was thinking about taking this fender off and trying to do it off the car. However, I think all we have to do is take this fender liner off in here. I think it's definitely plastic. We have to just take this off, and then we'll have hopefully all the room in there just to be able to punch this out, you know, obviously nice and back to where it needs to be. Thankfully this body line just kind of got a little kinked, so it should be easy to push this out and make it look like this never happened. The reason why I even decided that I wanted to do this is because this dent, from my understanding, which I might be wrong, so if I am, please put it down in the comments if this is right or not. I am not a professional by any means. I just have very small amounts of bodywork knowledge from working at body shops and being kind of an apprentice, if you will. And because of that limited experience, I know that this right here is, I mean, it's a memory dent, but if you push it out, it will basically pop out to where it's supposed to be. Up here is going to be a little bit harder, unfortunately. Let's get to this. I'm gonna have to take the wheel off and then put it up on one jack or lift it up so that I can make sure that I can get in to that space and have enough room to swing a hammer and be able to work this metal as nicely as possible. So let's get it done and see when the car is jacked up. Let's do this. Alright, so we took the wheel off, and we're looking at this inner fender liner, which I'm more than positive if I pop this fender liner off, then we'll have easy access to the inside, and it'll make it a lot easier to access the panel up here. But guys, just I want to take a second to appreciate how clean this chassis is. I mean, I was looking at the pinch welds, and these things are immaculate. Never been crunched. I'm using the frame because the frame is well, at straight too. Everything on this thing, on this car, is so straight. This is probably one of the best stock Supras. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much better it could be. So let's go ahead and get this off, and I'm gonna use this. This is my Vessel automatic screwdriver. Guys, if you guys don't have one of these, I definitely recommend it because it gets in so nicely, and once you get the screw started, you can literally just take it out so easily. I do plan on getting some JIS bits because those will fit in these so much nicer, but for now these PH2s will work just fine, and gotta stick with the Makita if it'll focus. It won't. So, yeah. All right, let's get this thing out. Go from there. All right, so we have the fender liner off all the way. It's moving. So what I could probably do is I could probably put like my hammer underneath there and just start prying this up really slowly. I'll go ahead and put you guys on a tripod and get you guys up as close as possible to the fender so that you guys can see it slowly move, and hopefully anything we do is going to be better than what it is right now. Also wanted to give a huge shout out to Stephanie, who got me these Zoas. Can't find them, so shout out to you for getting me a couple of these, because boy needs energy and I can't drink energy drinks anymore. I've been sticking to coffee, but with these Zoas they've been making it so I can drink energy drinks a little bit more but not have that huge crash. So yeah, cheers. Well, like most things on the channel, things have escalated. So I wasn't able to really get this section as well as I wanted to. It kept making this pinch right here, which I didn't like, because when I was on the car, I couldn't really push up underneath it. So I decided to take the whole thing off, which it was a lot more annoying than I wanted it to be, but we are here. And typically the way I think about it is, if something isn't giving you the right results when you like just kind of doing things the shortcut way, which is what I was doing with it on the car, you kind of have no other choice but to escalate things. So we are now doing it off the car, which, to be honest with you, is probably going to be better anyways, because we have a lot more room to get to it now, which I can use the hammer and dolly set, which I kind of wanted to use anyways, and really get underneath this and make it nice and straight. You can really see the pinch right here where the fender pretty much pushed up into this. And unfortunately, well, I did a fender repair on the SC, which I'll put the video on whatever side, so that's why I'm attempting to do this fix. And also, which I should probably mention, I am using zip ties to hold it on so it's nice and sturdy. The thing I like about these is they're reusable. So these zip ties, I use these zip ties mostly for body work, because you can literally reuse them, which I definitely have found a lot of good use to reuse them. You just pop that tab in there, kind of makes it so that it's a lot easier to work on. For me, I am not the kind of person that likes to use Bondo at all. I like to actually kind of work the metal as best as possible to the original shape that or was. I'm gonna go ahead and take a crack at this and see what I can do, and put you guys on another time lapse and see it come to life. So let's get it done. Yes sir. So bodywork is always 3 steps backwards to 1 step forward, depending on what you're doing and how you have to resolve a problem. So what I mean by that is all on this line, right? This was pushed in from here all the way to here. And you can see that it's supposed to be almost like a 90, like it's supposed to be flush at the top, but this is like just a really harsh line going down. When you pound this upwards, this sinks in. So from what I'm doing, which has been working so far, is pounding this way. So you're pushing this towards you and then you're hammering this down. The problem I feel like is going to happen though is I have to basically push this out further than it needs to be, so that when I push this from underneath and push this up to where the body line is like higher up, this is going to sink back down. So the thing about bodywork for me is that you want to relieve stress as much as possible, but you don't want to keep hammering at like the same spots multiple times, because metal has a giving point. The more you play with it, the weaker it gets. And when a fender or a quarter panel, when you start playing around with them so much, their integrity goes down. And so when you get, say for example, someone hits you in that same spot, their crumple zone is going to be a lot weaker. So you want to do it as very minimally as possible. You want to play with it as minimally as possible, but you still want to get the body line. So what I had to do is I had to push this whole thing down, because I had everything raised up, but then I realized that this was getting pushed in, and I was trying my best to lift this without having to push this down. But unfortunately, that's not really how body work is, or trying to do body work. And for some of you guys who like to, you know, have things done and dusted and just quick, a lot of people in this situation would just get it to where it needs to be and then just use Bondo to fill this in to make that line. I was not taught to do body work using Bondo. It takes a lot more patience, but it's a lot more rewarding. I was taught to do body work where if you put a magnet up to any metal body part and the magnet falls off, that right there is, you need to do it again, basically. I was fortunate enough to have my mentor see what I was doing and the determination I had to get it right. He kind of showed me a couple more things, which I'm extremely grateful for. And I mean, honestly, I wouldn't even think about doing bodywork if it wasn't for him teaching me how to do it. So that's kind of why I love doing it so much, is because he kind of saw that I had a knack for it, which I'm not saying I'm professional at all, but I do have some experience on how to do it. I don't do it fast. I like to take my time, because the faster you do it, the results may look good, but it might not last that long. With body work, you're doing all of this time-consuming stuff, so you might as well get it done the right way first. Sometimes with body work, you got to get a little creative. So on all of this edge right here, it is nice and smooth up here toward the front of the fender, and then as you come back to about here, it divots in. And I'm trying my best not to create high points, which what this is over here. However, I need to create high points in order to get all of everything, this portion right here to the edge. I need to get all of this as lifted as possible. And after that, I can begin to press it down. But there's no other good way of doing that other than sitting down on a chair, flipping this over, and literally taking the flat side of this hammer and just hammering it away. I can't tell you how many awkward positions I had to get this fender in. So far, I'm very happy with it. I know that at least from here, from where we are right now, if you look straight onto it, I can definitely get all of this figured out. Like the body line kind of disappears a little bit right here, but I know for a fact that I can kind of, well, the slope's there, this slope right here continues through, so I know that it's close. It just doesn't want to bump out here as much, so it kind of slopes in, but it has a few high spots, which high spots to me aren't really that big of an issue because I can tap them and get them level. This whole car is gonna have to be resprayed, but the cool thing about that is that we can respray it, and we can then go ahead and put some flake in the clear coat, so at least it'll shine and it'll be nice. The Supra is going to stay this blue. I don't even know what the paint code is. Has it, so color is 8D8. I'll put the color code on the screen for you guys. That's gonna be the color that we respray it. So I'm gonna go OEM paint on the Supra. We'll kind of get a little bit. There is a fly, and I want to get it because I hate flies, and it's going to be spectacular. If I miss this, I'm gonna be super bummed. I did not miss it. We'll be able to do a little bit more flake on it, which is gonna be super cool, but I want the Supra to be as OEM as possible since, well, we're tracking the car, so I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be a livery on it at some point with all the supporters of the channel, and cool livery for Hammerdown Restorations, so that'd be really, really cool. The SC, this car is gonna stay the OEM paint as well, which I believe is the, oh, Pearl Metallic Flakes, something of that order. I can put that on screen as well, but with the SC, I will be wrapping it with the livery for the drift events, so that's gonna be what that's gonna go with. But yeah, with this, it's gonna be all OEM paint, which is why I'm not really too upset about all this, because I can bring down the metal, make sure everything's nice. I'd rather have high spots than low spots, because low spots you can't really bring up without Bondo. I'd rather have high spots because then I can work that metal in, which will obviously come later. But as you guys can see here, I don't know if you guys could see the smoking gun, but I'll give it a second, because this is fairly lined up. It's not extremely lined up. Like you can see this one, this hole is lined up and that hole is lined up. Everything from this hole though and back is not lined up. So I realize now what happened, at least from what I can tell, is the fender pinched right here, and of course it pinches right where the identification of the fender is, because on all of the 80s cars, or 80s and early 90s, the verification on the VIN to every single panel matches that same VIN number. So of course, right where the VIN is, or the VIN matching number on the fender is, it got pinched. So that's kind of unfortunate, because I'm trying as best as I can to make sure it's nice and, you know, straight, level, whatever you want to call it, but not destroying that VIN number, because I don't want to obviously do that. But as you can see, the line, it needs to come out probably another 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch. So what that's going to entail is that this whole thing's got to come out more, and then that's going to suck up somewhere in the fender. So unfortunately, we have it all nice right now, but because it's all nice and straight, the mounts got pushed in. The damage on the fender, now that that's fixed, the metal obviously tried to move a little bit so that it can compensate for the repairs that we did. So now I'm gonna have to walk the fine line of getting the mounting holes where they need to be, and then also repairing or relieving the stress on the fender wherever that may be as well. So it's going to be a give and take, and it's going to be one of those things where you do one thing, get it straight, and then the other thing, or whatever you're fixing, is like fighting you, so to speak. So all you have to do is just keep fighting with it until it looks good and until you're happy with it. But so far the line on this is way straighter. I still have to do a lot more on this side, which will definitely be coming soon. I'm gonna keep working on it today. And then also I'm very happy with how this all went, because if you guys remember, this was very angled like that, but now it's more of a 90, which is what these fenders need to be and what the OEM look is and how it's properly supposed to look. That's that 90, that curvature is definitely needed. So this is why bodywork takes so much longer than people think. Is because, one, yes, you do need patience, but at the same time, you could be spending 3 hours doing one thing and then 3 hours completely undoing what you just did to then get everything nice, straight, and where they need to be, so to speak. So yeah, bodywork's fun. I am very, very happy that I'm learning all of this stuff, because it's going to not only help me do it quicker. The only reason why I'm doing it so much slower right now is because I need to learn the right way. If I don't learn the right way and take shortcuts, then I can't get quicker. I can't improve my skills, which, you know, obviously my skills aren't the greatest. And for me, giving up has never been an option. So because I've found something that I can be very passionate about, I want to put the time in, I want to put the work in, because it's not only going to help me improve, but at the same time, it's also going to help me in the long run, where I can potentially teach others, or, you know, my kids, if I ever decide to have them, I can pass it down, is what I'm trying to say, which is what is going to be super important to me. I also want to give a huge shout out to the previous owner of the Supra, Ben. Thank you so much, man, for all your help, all the kind words. For those of you guys that don't know, which most of you guys probably don't, he is a body guy. He didn't think I was going to take on this body work by myself, but when I bought the car from him, I told him what I wanted to do, and he gave me a lot of respect for that. It's one of those cool things where when someone that knows their skill and talks to someone that wants to get into the skills, it's cool when someone that has that knowledge is able to, you know, give someone confidence going in. Yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna stop talking story, because I'm starting to look at how everything on this fender is, and I'm starting to see on the frame where the damage is transferred from the fender to the actual chassis of the car, which isn't bad at all. Yeah, we're gonna have to bring this fender in to match the line and just keep working on it. So that's what we're gonna do. I feel like this is kind of a good place to end today's video. I'm very happy with it right now of where it is. So I wanted to show you guys some progress. I wanted to get some progress on this car because I haven't touched it since I've gotten it. And I also want to slowly start making these videos where I do more body work. Like the next video, I'll give you guys a sneak peek. We're working on the SC, and we're gonna be doing some PDR, which I'm very excited for. If you guys haven't already, definitely hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to see more. Even if you didn't like this video, you don't have to like it, just share it to your friends. Maybe one of your homies wants to see this, and being able to do all of this on a Toyota Supra Turbo is pretty cool. I still have to pinch myself that not only do I own this car, but I get to work on this car, which not a lot of people can say that they get to work on a Toyota Supra, and even fewer people get to say that they own one. If you guys have any comments or any advice or anything like that, if you guys have done body work, or if you guys know someone that has done body work and that can, you know, help me or push me in the right direction, I want to listen to as many people as possible. I want to expand my network, and I want to meet others, because that's what this whole journey is about, is just meeting people and being able to learn from them and enjoy the cars that were made for us to build and have fun with. Like it, comment, subscribe it, you know the deal, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, never forget, always stay positive and stay true to who you are. See you guys in the next episode. Till then, shoots. Okay, bye.
Search everywhere.